everyone, and welcome to Total Sports Talk. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Eric.
And, we didn't look too good on Sunday, did we?
So your butt hurt?
Yeah, my ass is still sore. From getting it kicked all over Texas Stadium, or whatever they call it these days. Man, listen, before I jump into that, I was 0 on the two games I covered. I was certain the Rams were going to win. I was certain the Steelers were going to win. Pittsburgh lost to Buffalo, and I'm glad. Buffalo's a good football team, and they played really, really well. So that was nice to see. So, hold on one. Anyway, drop call number one in what's probably going to be about 35 of these because I have Verizon and their reception in my town is fantastic. Buffalo got a big win. Moving forward, I think for Buffalo, it's now set the stage for the Buffalo-New England game this weekend, which maybe somebody other than New England will win the division for the first time in some people's lifetime. It's crazy, but big win for Buffalo at home against the defense against a team that I think is the weakest in the NFL playoff field, and I'm including Dallas and Philadelphia in that equation. But we'll see what happens. I mean, ultimately, Buffalo did what they needed to do to win. They played good defense, and you know they limited their mistakes and took care of business. What was your take on that, Gamey?
My take on that was that Duck Hodges should not be leading the Pittsburgh Steelers, and their quarterback play is going to be a reason why they don't make the playoffs. They may beat the Jets, but I don't think they can.
I'm not even going to dignify this with a comment. Eric, pick up where you left off.
Duck Hodges is leading the Steelers, and he's going to be a reason why the Steelers don't make the playoffs. Now, they'll probably beat the Jets on Sunday, but Oblivion's huge, brutal thing in the room for the Steelers is their quarterback play. I mean, he threw 4 picks, and I'm gonna go and say this just so everybody knows it. But Trey White, cornerback for Buffalo, top 3 cornerbacks in the league, along with Stephon Gilmore. So you guys trying to figure out who maybe the third one is in the league, but he's top 3. He goes untalked about. Nobody knows this guy because he plays for Buffalo, and Buffalo quietly puts up a good figure on defense, and their offense is definitely serviceable. I like the Chuck Allen. I thought he played well. Yeah, he had a couple mistakes, but what quarterback doesn't? Nobody plays a flawless game. Even Drew Brees had a throwaway in the Monday night game where he went 29 for 30 for 370 yards, and still couldn't get a perfect passer rating. So, yeah, he's still young. He makes mistakes. I like the fact that, I've said this before, I like the fact that he went back and looked at all of his passes that were bad last year. And for him to do that, he's going to learn from it. He's going to continue to grow. And it's going to be Buffalo's division for a couple of years going forward, probably after this year, especially if they lose to New England this weekend. But I'm glad Buffalo won. I was glad they were able to go into Pittsburgh. Not a lot of teams can go into Pittsburgh and win. But Buffalo was able to prove that. So.
Well, I mean, look, Buffalo's a good football team, and I think they have a real chance to make some noise in the playoffs this year, provided the officials stay out of it and let the games be played out the way they should be played out. We'll see if that actually happens. But the playoffs this year, they look extremely boring, Eric. I'm not going to lie. We get to see Dallas or Philadelphia host San Francisco or Seattle. That's a snooze fest. We get, who's the other one?
Well, if your pick didn't go on right and you had a 1-win Bengals team in the playoffs, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah. You're going to keep throwing that at me, aren't you, Eric? Oh, my God.
Well, your AFC champion team, the Bengals, are going to the AFC championship team, Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to be doing that on Madden 20.
Hey, just remember, I still had Kansas City going to the Super Bowl, so you can go ahead and put two tears in a bucket and it rhymes with suck it, but I digress. The bottom line for me is this. You got the Saints, everyone's, isn't it amazing Drew Brees broke the passing record? That's like saying, isn't it amazing I went to the grocery store and got eggs and milk? No, it's not amazing. There's nothing impressive about Drew Brees breaking the passing touchdown record in 2019. I'm sorry, it just isn't. You got teams that throw the ball on 3rd and inches. You got teams that throw the ball when they should be running the ball like the New Orleans Saints did in the NFC Championship game. You got teams that throw the ball on 4th and inches from the goal line. You got the Seahawks who throw the ball at 4th and goal at the what? There's nothing impressive to me about passing records. Miss me with that nonsense. You can't touch the wide receiver. You can't hit the quarterback. You can't jam the wide receiver. He has to catch the ball. You have to break down and go, can I hit you now? Can I hit you now? Can I hit you now? Okay, I'm going to hit you. And we're supposed to be impressed that Drew Brees broke a passing record. Right. That's like being impressed when a 40-year-old properly uses the toilet and is potty trained. Just saying, it's not impressive. It's expected. So,
Well, that's all fine and dandy, bro. But when Tom Brady gets done with the Buffalo Bills and he throws 4 touchdown passes against the Bills defense, he's going to break Drew Brees' record.
that's what I'm saying. Like these records, you want to impress me? Rush for 2,106 yards. That'll impress me. Allow 10 points per game on defense. That'll impress me. But throwing for 50,000 touchdowns doesn't impress me. Throwing for 85,000 yards doesn't impress me. Having over 130 receptions in a season doesn't impress me. It's a passing league. It's flag football in pads. That's all it is. Anyway, congratulations, I guess, to Drew Brees. But you covered a game last week in the Texans and the Titans, and was the game what you expected it to be?
No, that's completely opposite. I was expecting a close game, but I wasn't expecting Tennessee to take a dump on their own home field and let the Texans pretty much have their way and throw 2 touchdowns to Kenny Stills. I'm like, what's going on here? Derrick Henry only had 85 yards rushing. Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson barely were around. I mean, Carlos Hyde got their touchdown the day for Houston. But it was 2 turnovers on each side. Tannehill didn't look great. He had a great connection with A.J. Brown, but that was the only connection he made all day. And so, when that happens, Tennessee lost a golden opportunity to take control of the division, while Houston is in a tight matchup with Tampa Bay as we speak. 21 seconds left as of this recording, and Houston's up by 3 with Tampa Bay on their own 4-yard line. So, I don't know. Like, I just expected Tennessee to come out, run the ball down. You should be able to run the ball down Houston's throw. I mean, Houston doesn't have the defense to stay upright anymore. As today, Ronald Jones has 77 yards on the ground by himself.
Yeah.
Tennessee might have just lost the playoffs. Might have just lost the trip to the playoffs because of that. And I don't think it was all Tannehill's fault. Their defense just could not contain Stills. They contain Hopkins, but they're like, oh, well, we're going to contain Hopkins, but we're not going to contain anybody else. And then Watford was able to just make his way all the way downfield, and they ended up winning by 3. Which, again, it's a hard-fought divisional game. And, Houston going on the road to Tennessee, there are the elements in Houston, they, for some reason, they built a dome in Houston. I don't know why. But Tennessee, again, lost the golden opportunity. Now, Tennessee has to face the Saints this week, which, whatever, but the Houston Texans just won the AFC South, so the Titans can't win the division there. So they actually may be if they don't beat the same thing, they'd be looking out the playoffs. But again, you gotta take the bull by the horns when it's your own home field, and when you have a big bruising running back. And Tennessee wasn't able to capitalize on that.
Well, two things. That's funny because the Texans have a bull for a symbol on their helmet. But
Right, you like that?
yeah, I did. That was pretty good. Here's the thing that I thought was hilarious. You're down 3 with 6 minutes to go, and you have the football. And you don't run the ball on first down. You run the ball on second down, and then you don't run the ball on third down. You told Tannehill, you're going to be the reason we win this game, and the whole season you've been winning games by your running game. Just thought it was weird. And they did that really from the 6-minute mark on for the rest of the game. They just basically put on Tannehill to win. Ryan Tannehill's a good quarterback. There are very few quarterbacks in the National Football League, and I'm including some of the old-timers, that can win a game by themselves. You have to run the offense as it's designed to be run. With the Rams, Jared Goff can win you a football game. However, the way you've constructed the offense and the way that he's practiced it and the way that he's run it, okay, that's not how they do things. And when you put the game on his hands with that offensive line, you're going to lose. If Gurley can't find running room and you're going to drop back and throw 40 times, you're going to lose 6 times in a season or more. And that's what the Rams have run into. I don't know why the Texans abandon what they do best at the end of the game when they need it the most, but there you go. Now, the Bears against, who did they play? The Giants? I don't even,
Bears play Green Bay.
Green Bay, that's right. Take that one away, E. Go.
Well, it's like every other. It's like every other matchup with Green Bay. I mean, who's usually been coming out on top? I mean, there's really not much more to say. Yeah, the Bears had 3 turnovers. One was at the end of the first half. One was at the end of the second half. I kind of discouraged those. But what you do is trying to throw a Hail Mary from your own 30-yard line, and with the attempt of Green Bay trying, possibly bring it back, like throw some out to the sideline, run the ball, let the half go down. But the Bears scored too little too late. They were poised to lead the game, and then Green Bay comes out and start the third, and they put up a touchdown. And you also had a single high safety in the Devontae Adams 4th down touchdown catch and run, and then Aaron Jones scores 2 touchdowns on there. Again, Green Bay didn't blow anybody out. They played another close game. Again, they do not worry me when it comes to the playoffs for them. Do they have the opportunity to win a game or two? Absolutely. They found out their run game, but if they find a defense that actually plays against the run, and Aaron Jones gets stopped, it's going to be put on Rodgers' shoulders. But again, Rodgers, he's got 2 interceptions all year. Big look, like he doesn't throw the ball at all. So if you're not throwing picks and you're not throwing the ball quite a bit, but you're relying on your run game, sooner or later it's going to come down to your arm. If you make that one mistake, it's going to come back and haunt you. But again, the Bears had a couple of good drives there late in the second half, and a really nice Slaughterland play. But again, it was a little too late, and all they needed was one more. But Jacob Hollister, the tight end for the Seahawks, the tight end for the Bears, his name escapes me. Jacob Horsted, there we go. He just couldn't get the ball out of his hands, and he doesn't look like he was looking to his right or behind him or anything like that. So I think he's trying to play hero and trying to score himself. So, that's what happens. That's what happens when you're unprepared. That's what happens when you draft a quarterback who had no business being the second overall pick. It's not his fault. It's the person who drafted it fault. they don't have any. They don't have anybody to stretch the field. That's the problem. They don't have a tight end that can go out there and grind out. The Bears need to sign a couple of those guys. And a couple of guys who are free agents. This is what I'm hammering home.
Yeah.
Sign Robbie Anderson in the offseason. Let him stretch the field on the other side opposite of Allen Robinson. Allen Robinson is a 1,000-yard wide receiver for this Bears team, and he deserves better. He does. If you have that threat on the outside, and then go sign a guy like Austin Cooper, who's going to be a free agent from Atlanta, I mean, you just completely solidified your offense. And you can sign those two guys free agency, and then go out and draft a couple of offensive linemen. Because that's what the Bears need. They need a lot of help protecting the quarterback. Defense, I think they still have a good, capable defense, but with the loss of Hicks for quite a few weeks, and they just won't take team. They don't get a lot of dropped interceptions. They didn't have a lot of turnovers. Everybody understood that they were going to regress in the turnover department, but when you're going up against a guy like Aaron Rodgers, you got to find ways to beat him. And there's a reason why he's 19-5 against your team all time.
Well, you got to catch the ball and hit your hands. As far as the Ram game goes this past weekend, I mean, it was a dumpster fire from the beginning. The Rams defense was nowhere to be found. Ty Hill apparently sprained his uterus because he was unable to play with a strained hand. Last time I checked, you need your legs and you need one good arm to play corner. I don't care that you can't intercept the football. Get on the field and cover. But if Ty Hill was out there, Dallas might have scored 60 points because he's just not a good corner. And I love how the guys on the TV were trying to talk it up like Ty Hill is a big difference maker and a playmaker on this defense. Ty Hill is the T to the R to the A to the S to the H. He is the trash of that secondary. And if that is really what we're going to put alongside Jalen Ramsey next year, we're going to have more problems in the secondary than a math book, because we've got a statue at strong safety who's really should be called a weak safety because there's nothing strong about Weddle. I mean, I could outrun Weddle at this point, and I'm fat and old. He's just old and slow. Taylor Rapp is doing the best he can, but we really miss Joe Johnson III. And when he comes back next year, and we have Joe Johnson III, and we have Taylor Rapp at safety, hopefully Weddle does the right thing and retires and gives the Rams their money back so they can actually use that money to go get themselves a lineman. We'll see if that happens. Maybe go get themselves another corner. Linebacker, what else can I say? The Clay Matthews experiment is not successful. The guy can't tackle. He couldn't tackle the last year, and he's had a hard time tackling good teams this year. We had an opportunity to take the Cowboys off the field on third down. He missed the tackle. The guy's wide open, no one within 60 yards of him. He catches the ball and walks in for a touchdown. If Matthews makes the play, the Rams get the ball back. So I'm talking about the defense because when you give up 44 points, don't talk to me about Jared Goff and the Rams' inability to run the game. Run the ball. You can't run the ball when you're down 28-7 at halftime. You can't. To quote a famous Redskin quarterback by the name of Sammy Baugh, there's no game plan that you have in your arsenal when you're down 28-0 at halftime, or for that matter, 28-7 in this case. It was ugly. It was ugly from the beginning. The Rams forgot to get on the flight from LAX to Dallas, and the Cowboys played like this was a revenge game. And maybe I should have seen this coming. It's the same reason I picked the Rams over the Saints, because the Rams felt disrespected last year in the championship game after they won. Dallas obviously felt disrespected in the playoff game last year against the Rams because Ezekiel Elliott could, you gave him the ball, he was guaranteed 9 yards a carry. The Rams couldn't cover any of their wide receivers. Jason Witten, who runs the 40 in about 13 days, was wide open all day long. I don't know what to say. Dallas kicked our butt, and we didn't deserve to win the game. And when you lose 44-21, and it's really what 44-7 at one point, this wasn't a game. It was an embarrassment. And all that being said, the Rams aren't eliminated from the playoffs. They need a lot of help, and they got to do some work. So I'm going to be curious how the Rams bounced back. What is your take on this game, E?
My take on this game is that watching the Rams, one would think that when they watched them pass, they had a good run defense. Defense didn't come on the trip. And I know what you're saying about, the defense, but the offense couldn't get in the rhythm either. I mean, the only reason why they're scoring late in the game is because Dallas is just trying to play out the game. And
right.
Be like, okay, whatever, we're going to give up yards, we don't want anybody to get hurt.
Right.
So, really, in that sense, it's trying to figure out, where is this Rams team? I know you called me once or twice about when this game was going on, and I was like, yeah, I predicted a 41-13 game, but then I didn't realize I should have picked the Cowboys.
Yeah. No kidding.
So, I don't know. It was just weird basically seeing that. One of the Cowboys beat writers who covers the team pretty closely. He covers others. He'll be stationed out of Texas, out of Dallas, but he was like, Rams, 73 yards against Cowboys in postseason. That's just every time he posted that, I want to be like, yeah, the Rams would want to beat the Cowboys every time in the postseason. So instead of a regular season game, you take that 10 times out of 10 and it'll be in the postseason. So I don't know. It's just one of those where the Rams have been at what they did in Dallas last year. And when I went back and I looked, and I couldn't believe it, but Tony Pollard even had over 120 yards rushing. What's going on here? The Rams just don't have to play, but when you watch the game and then you're seeing two Ram players kick each other off, and Tavon Austin could build a house and drive 3 semi-trucks to the left side of the end zone because he was so wide open. I mean, what are you going to do? It's just not your day. You just got to pack up, hopefully get out of there without any injuries and move on to the next game.
Dude, Tavon was so open, he could have taken the LA Express freeway to the end zone and still beat the Rams secondary into the end zone at that point. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Right, exactly.
But, for me, it's one of those burn the tape and throw it out. You asked me, Anthony, what would you rather have, a blowout in the playoff game or a blowout in regular season? A blowout in the playoffs every time. You can beat me every time in the regular season. As long as we beat you in the postseason, that's all I care about. This game, it was when the Rams collided on a non-pick play, that tells you everything you need to know. You know what? We didn't see that last year when Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib were in the secondary. So Jalen Ramsey doesn't communicate. He's still learning the defense. Ty Hill is, nursing his uterus. And the other guy that's out on the field, I don't even know who he is. Where was Long Jr.? Why wasn't he on the field? Did he not make the trip? Because he's been the most impressive backup corner the Rams have had. Why isn't Nickel Roby-Coleman playing the other corner position rather than Ty Hill? There's so many questions that I had watching this game that I'm like, what are we even doing right now? Weddle has no command of this secondary. He doesn't know what the hell he's doing. He can't communicate with guys and make sure they're not running into each other on non-pick routes while guys are getting wide open. And yeah, I do put that on the guys that communicate in the secondary, which is either Jalen Ramsey, which I can't believe they gave him a speaking role, or Weddle, which it's more likely Weddle has a speaking role since he's been there from the beginning of the year. Regardless, whoever's communicating didn't do their job in that game. And yeah, it's really hard to get on track offensively when you're down 7-0, you come back and respond, and then you got to wait 9 minutes to get the football back. And when you do, you're down 14-7. Then you end up punting, and then you're down 21-7. Then you get a first down, you're moving the ball a little bit. You think, okay, we flip the field, we're going to pin Dallas in deep. And then you're down 28-7, and you're going in the locker room because you had the ball 3 times. I mean, yeah, it was ugly. It was ugly. And, you know, that was probably the worst overall performance I've seen the Rams have in a long time. I think this was worse than the Baltimore Raven game. The Baltimore Raven game was expected, but this was a bad team that the Rams couldn't beat. And Dallas is a bad team. Like, they're not going to win their division. Philly's beating them tomorrow. And it's going to be embarrassing. Because this 44-21 loss at Dallas may very well be the game that put us out of the postseason. Unless Minnesota and Kirk Cousins struggle the next 2 weeks, it's going to be tough. So, with that being said, Eric, what game do you want to cover this week before we get to the Bears?
Well, I was going back and forth. And my first thought was, let's cover a game that's actually going to be that pretty much determine the NFC East. And I was like, the NFC East is so bad, I don't even want to spend my time with you. So, who cares who wins Dallas, Philly? I don't care. By the way, I'm picking Dallas in that game to win by 1 point because they have a healthier team than Philadelphia has had all year. So, that's my pick right there.
All right.
The team I'm covering really has no implications. But I think it's more of a, holy crap, like, we got our clubs cleaned, and this is time for payback. So Baltimore and Cleveland.
Ooh.
Baltimore and Cleveland, yes. Cleveland went into Baltimore earlier this season, week 4. The last loss by the Ravens. And they went in and cleaned their clocks, looked good. And Baker Mayfield had a great game, and the wide receivers had a great game, and everything was on point for Cleveland. It just seems like it all fell apart. That was a wake-up call for the Ravens. Well, now the Ravens are here in week 16. And they're like, you know what? We're going to Cleveland. Let's give ourselves something to cheer about. Because we're going to go back to where we came from. And we're going to poop on your stadium. And the Ravens are going to unleash again. But my quarterback, that is, Lamar Jackson, is having a great year. He's probably your MVP. So just put that down right now. But I get out to a big lead if I'm the Ravens. Take Lamar out as quickly as possible. And if that means that he is out after the third quarter, so be it. I think this Cleveland team is looking at its wounds. This Cleveland team is still trying to, put together one more complete game before the end of the season. And they get one more chance after this against Cincinnati next week. But their wide receivers are banged up. The running game has been the only bright spot for Cleveland so far this year. Which, and Hunt's done a great job. Love or hate the guy for what he did and his suspension. He's come in and he's done a really good job for the Browns running attack, keeping Chubb fresh, and they've been both on the field at the same time. But, it is what it is with him. You know what you're going to get. But I think it's a big deal for Baker Mayfield to come out and be like, okay, let's channel that energy again. But the Ravens, too much firepower. Whether it's Andrews, Boyle, or Hurst, get the ball, Lamar Peter running, or even Lamar himself running. Like, watching him against the Jets, like, just throwing deep pass after deep pass and then having to come down and be caught for a touchdown. So it's just insane. And, I expect him to have another good game. I expect the Ravens to actually come in here and win this game. I do also expect some RG3 to come in the fourth quarter and mop up duty. He doesn't throw the ball much, but he'll either run it or hand it off, and that's what the Ravens want him to do. This way they get Lamar on the sideline and out of harm's way. Because the last thing you want to do going into the playoffs is starting RG3 if you're the Ravens. And potentially looking at a coach of the year as well in John Harbaugh. And I think this one more win will definitely solidify it for him if it hasn't been solidified already. But, I expect a lot of ground and pound for the Ravens. Again, Ingram, Gus Edwards, whoever else they decide to pull off the street and have them put on a Raven uniform. But I like the Ravens in this game 31-17. 22-20.
Okay. If Buffalo beats New England, I think the Browns win the game 28-24. And here's why. I think Lamar Jackson plays the first quarter, regardless of the score, and they pull him because there's no reason to play him. They've got everything wrapped up. If New England wins today, then I got Baltimore winning this game 31-7. And it simply comes down to, does Lamar play 3 quarters, 4 quarters, or 1 quarter? If he plays more than 1 quarter, I don't know how the Browns win this game. If he only plays a quarter and they want to keep him fresh and healthy for the postseason, because we've seen teams do that before, then I don't think it's unlikely that the Browns at home are able to pull another upset, especially since they do run the ball really well, and I think it'll be a tough game because Ingram's a really good runner. So really, to me, it depends on what happens tonight between Buffalo and New England, which just kicked off. So how much does Lamar play is going to determine whether the Ravens win or lose. And if he plays, they're going to win big. I just think that it's really as simple as that.
And while we're on this show, Buffalo's already created a turnover by taking the ball from Rex Burkhead.
There we go. Go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Let's go Buffalo. Hey, I got a feeling. You guys know the song, right? Bills fans? You know. Right? Anyway, Buffalo's not going to the Super Bowl. But, well, maybe. I mean, stranger things have happened in the postseason. All right, Bears. They are playing who?
Sunday night.
Who are they playing?
It's Sunday night.
They're playing Michigan on Sunday night. I didn't know the Wolverines were in the NFL.
The Chiefs.
Oh, well, that's a Chief victory. Go ahead.
Good Lord. Yeah, so do you want me to tell this as Mahomes versus Trubisky, or should I just make it as Bears versus Chiefs? Okay, that narrative's been used up probably 752 times this week alone, and the game hasn't even started yet.
Yeah.
So the over-under before the game starts is going to be 99.5 by Vegas. So I take the over, folks.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been pretty much wrong at picking Bears games all year. So watch the Bears come out and win this game 31-17. Listen, you can throw on the Chiefs team. I know the Chiefs team played really good of late. They went into Denver, held the Broncos to 3 points. Yes, they beat the Broncos 9 straight times. And, Mahomes just come in here with his Gazelle or Cheetah or whatever the heck they call him in Tyreek Hill, because he runs faster than whatever insert pun here that I can't think of right now. So, I mean, to me, it's one of those where if Prince Amukamara does not play because he's out with he's probably going to be out with a hamstring injury, and if Akeem Hicks doesn't play because of his elbow, he practiced pretty much all week, but it is questionable on Friday. But the Bears not playing for anything. I know I've heard people say, shut everybody down, but then you need something to hang your hat on when you watch these games on film. And I know the Bears want to play. I know the Bears want to play hard, but no Terry Gabriel again. So there goes another wide receiver who's been out for like 3 weeks now because of concussion. So if you only got Kyle Fuller on one of their wide receivers, whether it's Watkins Hill, and you have nobody who can cover Kelsey, I don't think how this is not a 38-10, 38-13 Chiefs win.
Yeah, you took the word. You took the words right out of my mouth.
If Hicks doesn't play, what I would do if I were Andy Reid, and I'm glad I'm not Andy Reid because I would have already won a Super Bowl by now. But if I were the Chiefs, I would get my ground game going, and I wouldn't care if the Bears force 2 or 3 straight 3-and-outs, and you end up punting and putting the Bears deep in their own territory. I think you just got to run either McCoy or Williams and say, here, run the ball, This is your series. We're handing it to you 3 or 4 straight times before we decide to maybe even pass. And if they do that, they can get the ground game going. That's going to give teams, especially in Week 17, and especially in either the first or second round of the playoffs, depending on if they get a bye week or not. That's going to give teams something very current on tape that they have to worry about if the Chiefs are going to come in there and run the ball down somebody's throat in that's their first playoff game. So knowing that and seeing that, whether it's Damian or LaShawn or Darwin Thompson or Darrell Woods or whoever, Spencer Ware for crying out loud, I think that's what you have to do. To be completely 100% honest, I think you just got to say, I'm going to run the ball. I'm going to run the ball the whole first quarter and see what they can do. And if one of your running backs coughs it up, you take him out and put the other one in. And say, your turn, go.
Well,
I just think they need to do. They just need to get some of their ground game going and make it where they're not a one-dimensional team in the playoffs.
well, Eric, unfortunately, it's a one-dimensional league, so you know they're going to run the ball twice on their first 10 plays. The rest are going to be passes. They're going to throw all over the field. It's going to be 34-13, and I'm being kind, giving you 13 points. I don't see this game.
I said 38-13, so don't be. I mean, if you're being kind, not being brutal.
Yeah, right. I mean, I just don't know how Chicago gets any pressure on this defense, on this offense. And, you know, look, for the record, Patrick Mahomes doesn't have a chip on his shoulder that the Bears didn't draft him. If anything, you know, he's very happy where he's at, and things worked out perfectly.
Mahomes landed in the most perfect place for him, to be honest with you. Like, it was funny listening to the radio this week because once the Bears drafted Mahomes, and some caller comes on and he's like, Mahomes would have been in the John Fox system, and they did a few wins, a few games with Dontrell Inman as his wide receiver and no-name tight end and Jordan Howard, okay? Like, they won a few games. John Fox gets an extension, and guess what? The Bears were never 12-4 last year.
Yeah.
You know, they're still playing in that John Fox system that was god awful.
Right.
So, yes, it's great that Patrick Mahomes didn't get drafted by the Bears. Would Deshaun Watson made a difference? Yeah, but I think they were going to let Fox go anyways. But Fox was really wanting Mahomes, so Fox got his way with who he wanted. Because I know Fox was high on Mahomes, and he was high on Watson, so if he got his way on whoever he wanted, and they started winning, to me, that would have extended John Fox right there. We never would have had that bag.
Nope.
I mean, granted, we're in Week 16. Game hasn't been played yet. And Matt Nagy is currently 19-11 overall record with the Bears. And, you know, we're already talking about letting them go. So, you know, welcome to football.
Yeah. Coach of the year 1 year, fired the next. Okay.
Look what Chicago baseball did to Joe Madden.
Yeah, that was
great.
ridiculous.
World Series, 4 straight trips to the playoffs. Oh, one bad year. Oh, you're going. Yeah, so welcome to Chicago sports, people.
Yeah, that's why the Cubs don't win World Series, but every 108 years or whatever it is. I want to talk a little bit about the Vikings and the Packers because this game is relevant to the Rams. Minnesota should win this game, but we know how Kirk Cousins plays against good football teams. Green Bay got smoked by San Diego. They got royally destroyed by the San Francisco 49ers. I'm nervous about this game. If the Rams win tonight, and I'll get to that game in a minute, then the Vikings know they have to win. They can't play around, even with another week left to play. I don't know, Eric, how to judge this game. Does Minnesota come out and Kirk Cousins craps down his leg and Aaron Rodgers looks good? Then the Packers win. If the Packers look like they have all year long against good football teams, and the Vikings come out and play like they do at home, then this thing's over by halftime and Minnesota walks out the building with a W. I don't know how to gauge this game. So I'm going to say this. By halftime, you'll know who wins. If it's close or Green Bay has the lead, Packers are going to win this game. If the Vikings have a 2-touchdown lead or more at halftime, this game is over. Green Bay is going to get blown out. Do you agree with that?
Well, yeah, no, I'm here. It's a very interesting game. If Kirk Cousins doesn't give the game away in Green Bay, we're talking a completely different scenario where Minnesota's first and Green Bay's second.
Right.
And whatnot. So, when that happens, you're going to see Kirk Cousins boot down the leg. Now, I think it's going to be, I think it's actually going to be a close, low-scoring game. And I'm talking like 19-16, 20-16, 20-17. Now, Dalvin Cook is actually out for this game. He ran for over 150 yards against Green Bay, the first one. They don't have him. They don't know who's going to start. Madison or this Mike Boone guy who ran for 2 touchdowns against Chargers. So, in reference to that, again, I don't really count the Dallas game that Minnesota played and beat Minnesota or beat Dallas down in Dallas as one of those big wins for Kirk Cousins because he beat a team that was over 500. But the Cowboys are a joke. The whole NFC East is a joke. Yes, I know the Bears beat the Cowboys. Yes, I know the Rams lost to the Cowboys. But the Cowboys. Good luck in your home playoff game if you have one because you're going to need every ounce of it. Yeah, I got Green Bay winning this game 20-17.
Well, if it's close at halftime.
As much as I would like to see Minnesota win, and I wouldn't care if Minnesota won this game 10-6. I don't like care. One of those old NFC Central barn burners where defense just takes control. Like I actually don't want to see Green Bay with a home playoff game or a home playoff game with a bye week.
Yeah,
I really don't. And it's going that way. That's a shame because I don't think they're that deserving.
No. But unfortunately, I got to root for Green Bay this week because I'm a Rams fan. Okay. Well, Anthony, does the Viking game really matter? Yeah, it does. Because the Rams are winning today. Now, before I get people rolling their eyes, which it's too late, I've already gotten, let me explain. Under McVay, this Ram team doesn't put up 2 stinkers in a row. Jared Goff plays very well in San Francisco. It's his hometown. He's going to be back home. He's going to be comfortable. The Rams, they burn that tape against Dallas. Maybe they overlooked Dallas and they were looking to this game. I don't know. But I've got a feeling that the Rams are going to go into San Francisco and it's going to be a slugfest. These 2 teams are going to play defense. They're going to run the ball. But the Rams' offensive line is better than the last time they played. And San Francisco beat us 20-7 the last time we played them. This time, we go into San Francisco, and the Niners at times have looked really bad at home. And at times, they've looked really good at home. So, they looked bad against Pittsburgh and the Chargers. They looked really good, or not the Chargers, who was it? Baltimore. They were in Baltimore. Who was it they played at home that Atlanta last week. I'm dumb. But they've also looked really good at home against Green Bay and Cleveland. So I understand the concern. The Niners are a better team, yes, but they're not that much better. And considering that we had our worst offensive line that we've had in quite some time together in that 20-7 loss at home, now we go into San Francisco with an improved offensive line, with a hungry, angry, and now motivated team. I think the Rams go into San Francisco. They play a slugfest type of game. It's going to be a short game because both these teams are going to be running the ball. And I think the Rams come out of their 17-14 winners with a Greg Zerline field goal at the gun to prevent overtime and to put the Rams at 9-6 as they head home and get ready to play Arizona and watch Minnesota lose to Green Bay tonight or Sunday night. So, or Monday night, whenever they play. That's how I see this game going. It's good, but in order for this to happen, Tyler Higbee's got to be consistent on third down. They've got to protect Goff on third and medium, and they need to run the ball. Gurley needs 30 touches in this game. It's as simple as that. 25 carries, 5 receptions. He needs a big day. That defense needs to get after it because they looked bad last week, and I think they're going to be motivated, and I think they're going to be angry, and I think they're going to show up. Eric, your turn.
Well, I know the 49ers had a hiccup last week against the Falcons, and I credited Atlanta for getting in there and playing for something that I don't know what they're playing for, but
Their coach.
Well, yeah, they're playing for they are playing hard for Dan Quinn, and rightfully so, they should. Even though they're not playing for anything, they're out there to destroy everybody else's hopes.
Right?
And they need to be destroying the 49ers' hopes of home field advantage in the playoffs or even close to it. If you can stop Kittle and you can contain Kittle, then you have a chance. If Kittle goes off like he went off against Falcons, and your run defense still doesn't show up for the second week in a row, and whether it's Mostert or Breida or Coleman or whoever they decide to run, it's going to be a long game.
Yeah.
Now, another game where the Rams just don't like to throw it to Cooper Kupp in the first 3 quarters. It's like, here's your best receiver.
Yeah.
I know you have Woods out there. You have to utilize both. And I think that if you try running the ball on the 49ers and Gurley gets the ball, and you're trying to keep him fresh, we already understand that, McVay. If you're trying to keep him fresh, and he goes nowhere because Bosa and the linebackers know that the run is coming, and they're stopping him. Problem is that you're going to get down too big too early. And you need Gurley not just in the beginning of the game, but you need him, at the start of the second half when the game is still close, if it's still close.
Yeah.
You see him rock. But if you're going nowhere, he's averaging 2.4 yards a carry, then look at these screen passes. Drop back to pass. You need Gurley to break off 1 or 2 big runs. And by big runs, they need 9 to 15 yards.
Yeah.
9 to 15 yards, and then your play action is going to work well. But I do think you need to come out, set a statement. Throw the ball downfield the first series. Throw the ball, get Kupp involved early, get Wood involved early. Get Higbee and Everett out there as well. Everett's going to be back. He's playing this game. I think if you're hitting all your different receivers, and even if you're doing 3-step drops, okay, and getting the ball out quick and throwing slants to Kupp and to Woods, I think it's a game the Rams can still win. I don't think that the Rams win this game. I'm going with the Niners 27-24.
Ooh.
But I think it's close. I just think that the Niners need this game a lot more, and they know they're not looking ahead because they did that last week with the Falcons looking ahead to the showdown against the Rams. They're not looking ahead from this week to next week when they got a huge showdown with the Seahawks. Because if they can get in there and play in that game and beat the Rams, they have a really good shot of beating the Seahawks next week and taking the division. So, either way, they might be facing each other in the first round of playoffs.
It's going to be an
They
interesting.
won't face each other in the first round of playoffs, but it'd be good. That'd be fun if they did.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. All right, guys, that's it. I'm Anthony.
I'm there.
Horns up.
Bear down.
Go Rams.
Go Bears.
Boo Bears. See you guys next
Go
week.
Rams.